There are some words out there that are just so loaded. They can shape how we see entire cultures, entire religions. But what if one of the most well-known words was also one of the most misunderstood? Today, we're going to dive into the true, personal, and deeply spiritual meaning behind a word you think you know.
Okay, let's just get right to it. For so many people, the word jihad brings up some pretty intense and often negative images right away. It's a word that's really become wrapped up in controversy and, frankly, a lot of misunderstanding.
You could honestly argue it's one of the most misunderstood words on the entire planet. What most people think it means? Yeah, that's often a million miles away from its actual foundational meaning in Islam.
But here's the thing. For over 1 billion Muslims, the reality of this concept is something else entirely. It's an idea that is profoundly peaceful, incredibly personal, and, as we're about to see, actually really beautiful. So let's try to clear away all that noise and get right to the heart of it. What does jihad actually mean?
At its absolute core, the Arabic word jihad just means to strive or to struggle, to try, that's it. In a spiritual sense, it's that constant daily effort to choose right over wrong, to obey God even when it's hard, and to just work on being a better person day in and day out.
And this idea comes straight from the Qur'an. It says that Allah's guidance doesn't come from being perfect. No, it comes from the simple act of striving, of trying. In this worldview, it's the effort itself that truly counts.
And that brings us to a really crucial point. The main battlefield for this struggle, it's not out there somewhere in the world. Nope, it's much, much closer to home.
This is what's known in Islam as the greater jihad. The idea is that the biggest, most important struggle isn't with some external enemy, but with the one that lives right inside of us. This internal battle is the struggle against what's called the nafs, which is basically our own ego, our desires, and our lower impulses. It's that daily choice, right? The choice between lashing out in anger or finding patience, between laziness and discipline. It's a constant tug of war between the person we might be in a weak moment and the best version of ourselves we're trying to become. And listen, this isn't some new idea. It's absolutely foundational. There's a famous piece of wisdom from the Prophet Muhammad where after returning from a physical battle, he reminded everyone that the hardest, the most difficult struggle of all is the one you wage against yourself. So what does this actually look like in real life? It's not some grand, abstract philosophical concept. It happens in all the small, ordinary moments of every single day. It's the struggle to drag yourself out of a warm, comfortable bed for the dawn prayer. It's biting your tongue when you really just want to explode in anger. It's choosing to be honest when a small lie would make your life so much easier. Lowering your gaze, helping your parents without sighing and complaining, resisting that temptation. Every single one of those is a small victory in this personal jihad. And that's really the essence of it. Every single time you fight an internal urge to do something wrong, especially when no one else is around to see you, that is you, engaged in this very personal struggle. It's a quiet, constant effort.
Okay, but we have to talk about the elephant in the room, the thing that most people associate with this word, physical conflict. Let's tackle that misunderstanding head on.
This is the big question, right? The one that causes all the confusion. So where does fighting or physical conflict actually fit into the idea of jihad? Well, the Quran is actually crystal clear about this. Islam permits fighting only in self-defense, when it is absolutely necessary to protect oneself from harm. And it strictly, explicitly forbids being the aggressor. The rule is simple. Do not be the one to start the fight. And this brings us to the most important distinction. This type of physical struggle is known as the lesser jihad. The daily, the primary, the greater jihad for the vast majority of Muslims is the one we've been talking about, the struggle of self-control, patience, and just trying to be a good person. So, as we wrap things up, let's bring it all back to the core concept, back to the beautiful, spiritual heart of this powerful idea. When you boil it all down, this is what jihad is truly about. It is the lifelong journey of striving to become the best possible version of yourself, for the sake of God. Every time you choose patience when you're feeling frustrated, every act of courage when you're afraid, every moment of sincerity when it would be easier to just show off, all of it is jihad. It's this constant, quiet striving that Allah sees every single moment of. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Your greatest, most important lifelong battle is the battle to stay close to your Creator. That is the true meaning of jihad.
And so we'll end with a shared hope, a prayer for all of us on this journey. May Allah help us all to win that essential struggle that goes on inside each of us. Ameen.